Hello and welcome to today's episode of Fly to Freedom. It's an absolutely chaotic episode because I've partly lost my voice. I have my crazy friend Alice here who keeps making me laugh. There are a boiler man here. The house is freezing, but this room's really warm. The puppy's going mad and anything could happen. So join us for this experience.
It's going to be fun.
So this lovely lady here is Alice. And Alice is actually a stylist, and she's been helping me navigate dressing this recovered body because I literally didn't have a clue. And after I recovered, I was dressing myself in like really big and baggy clothes to literally just hide away because I didn't know how to dress this recovered body at all. So I reached out to Alice, who has over 16 years in the fashion industry, working for brands such as Ralph Lauren, French Connection, and Zara across European markets. She's styled many women, stores, and mannequins, which I definitely wasn't throughout her career. I don't know, is that a claim to fame, styling a mannequin?
Yeah, it can be quite tricky, so I'm going to take that one. Yeah.
After having her second child, she hit a wall, having no confidence, hating her body, and had to use her own styling skills and knowledge to rediscover her love for herself and her reflection. She launched Buddy and New to help women who are also struggling to find their own sense of self in clothes. Through a selection of bespoke personal services, her aim is to share her knowledge, wealth of experience, and passion for what she calls a wardrobe love reach.
Wardrobe love.
And just like literally the last sentence has flummoxed me, but we're just going to go with that. So it's all good. So honestly, it's going to be chaos here today, but that's all good. It's just fun. So, Alice.
Yes.
I reached out to you.
Yes.
And I mean, how did you feel? It must have been a very unusual request.
You blew me away. You completely blew me away. And I felt so humbled when you approached me the first time in the evening when we first met.
Mm-hmm.
And it stayed with me, I must say, for the evening, like you did, because I think you were quite comfortable and you were quite direct, which, you know, threw me a little bit because you were so comfortable with sort of saying that you're in recovery and that this is what you know. And yeah, and then when we met for coffee to talk more, I was just blown away and felt so humbled and so honoured that you wanted me to help you, because it's such a personal journey that you're on, that to have that connection was quite amazing.
Thank you. So really, I knew that there must be some way of being able to feel more confident in my clothes. But I literally had no clue, because the body I had lived in for most of my life was very, very different from the body I live in now. It's not good, bad, right or wrong. It's just different. And this is my recovered body. So you showed me that I didn't have to hide away in big baggy clothes. So how can a stylist help somebody feel more confident and comfortable in their clothes during their recovery journey?
I think the first thing a stylist needs to do is understand the insecurities that person has about their body. Everyone's going to have a different insecurity in recovery. Everyone's going to have a different area of their body that they're not loving, they don't want to show, whatever. So it's really important that you understand that area, that part of the body that person is feeling more self, and why. Not in an aggressive, but an emotional reason of kind of what's going on. Whether the important thing, and I always say to anyone who's looking for a stylist, whether in recovery or not, it's really important that you connect with that person.
Yes.
Because to get the best experience and to take the most from it, you have to be able to connect and you have to feel comfortable with that person, because a stylist is going to be able to hopefully be vulnerable with you. And in those moments where you're looking in the mirror or you're changing your clothes or you're really, because you're accessing emotions when you're putting things on that might be a past trauma, that might be whatever, that might trigger you, you need to feel that you can be vulnerable with that stylist.
Full disclosure, the first 3 times I met Alice, I cried. Which I'm determined not to do today. But no, she has now seen me not cry. But yes, being able to feel comfortable enough to be vulnerable,
it's very important,
is really important. And so what I was doing, which was just wearing the biggest, baggiest clothes possible, wasn't helping my confidence or how I felt about my body in the slightest, was it?
No. But that's what we do. That's go-to part, is we all think if we put something big and baggy over the top, no one's going to see. I'm not going to see what's going on under here. It's like a cloak, and it just kind of to you think that you're hiding from it. You're hiding everything from the world, but you're also hiding yourself from it as well. And
that's very true.
Doesn't do you any help at all by hiding it. You need to embrace it. But equally, there's no point forcing it. You've got to get to a point yourself where you're ready to embrace it, because if you do that step too early, then you're just not able to make the progress that you want to, because psychologically you're not in that place where you feel that you can make those steps forward. But I think hiding yourself, and we all do it, whatever we are. When I had my 2 babies and had C-sections, and my area was, a crawl across that middle section completely changed, I wanted to hide it, when in fact as soon as I started dressing it, I learned to love the scar and my changes. And so that's the trigger. That's the next step.
So looking good and feeling good isn't actually about your body size and shape at all.
100% not. It's everything to do with how you feel, because I've seen some women who are rugby players, very big ladies, tall, as tall as me. I'm nearly 6 foot. And there was this one lady I met, and she was very bold about the fact that, she's quite curvy, she's quite tall. Like me, she hates the term being called big, because just because we're tall doesn't mean that, it's that terminology that I think is sensitive. But what she did say was that she was like, I'm fitter than all of you in this room. But to look at me, you would think, no, I'm not. And she was in recovery from operation and various things. And she was quite amazing lady. But she felt really confident in herself. And what she was wearing, you could see. And it doesn't matter. You don't need to be a 6, an 8, a 10, whatever, the smallest size you can possibly imagine, to think that you look good. It's not about the size that you are. It's how you feel in yourself, because the radiance that comes from you feeling good with who you are is the most beautiful thing in the world.
I love that. That is so true and so beautiful. So when you started to talk to me about how I was dressing, and my trigger areas were, I suppose, my stomach. In recovery, a lot of people, if they're recovering from severe restriction, will gain quite a lot of weight around their middle and be slightly disproportionate for a while. And that happened to me, and that was my most self-conscious area.
Yep.
And you actually taught me that covering it up wasn't helping at all. And in fact, it's smoke and mirrors to create how you look or how you want to look. And my reflection now looks completely different to when I was just hiding away. I actually look, I'm not going to say smaller, because I don't look any smaller. I don't look any different. My body size isn't what's important here. I look more put together and I look more confident.
You look like you've shown up for yourself.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's ultimately what we all need to get to a point of doing, is getting dressed and showing up for ourselves and showing our body that, you know what, you're good. And I'm going to put you in some nice things. I'm not going to hide you, because you're pretty darn good. And what you and I have accomplished is amazing. So let's go out there and rock it. And that's the process of understanding the area of your body that you're feeling self-conscious, and dressing to not hide it. I don't want to use that word, but dressing to balance it. We are all, when we get dressed in the morning and we put together an outfit, we're basically becoming a magician.
Okay.
And we're getting a magician's wand and we're going like that over our outfit, over our body. And we're creating illusions. We're creating an illusion of, actually, do you know what? I quite like the top half of my chest.
Mm-hmm.
I've got amazing décolletage. The skin's really good. I really like this part of me. But what's going on down here? Nah, don't want anything. Don't really want to be highlighting that, because I'm feeling self-conscious. So what you do is you create the illusion. You dress the lower half in darker colours. It doesn't have to be big, massive, overflowing sizing of fabric everywhere to hide it. It can just simply be a dark colour.
Mm-hmm.
We talked a lot about a lot of the things that I was putting you in. They were fitting actually around your middle, and you could see the struggle that you were having with feeling fabric on that area of your body, rather than having free flowing, moving fabric around it. So that's something that is an adjustment. But all you do is you draw attention to the top half with a necklace, with a pair of earrings, with a bright coloured top, and then you create the illusion. So the eye is always drawn to the part that you want to show off. The eye wants to fall on the easiest thing. The eye wants to fall on balance. We don't want like too bright a light. We don't like our eye is always adjusting to find the easiest thing to look at. And it's the same when you're styling yourself, is you want the eye to be drawn to something that is the prettiest, is the brightest, in magpie mode kind of thing. Because the shiny bits, and hiding the bits that, and again, I don't like the word hiding, but balancing the bits that you're not. Because what happens over time is you start to feel better, because someone will sort of say, oh, you look really nice today. And you're like, oh, thanks. And then the body, and then it starts to sort of in the belly, and it starts to just come out a little bit. And then it starts to, and then every morning you feel a little bit more confident, and you feel a little bit more used to feeling something around your middle that you're not necessarily used to. And then one day you might even find yourself putting on a more form-fitting dress and being like, who the hell is this person? But she's come over time, because you've given your body and yourself time to adjust using the illusion technique. Oh, just giving myself an idea about something. Using the illusion kind of technique to build your confidence. And then you get to a point where, because it's, I could just talk for hours about this. But the best thing to do when you're trying something different, and I said this to you a couple of times, is go shopping in it. Do the cleaning. Tidy up. Put something on that pushes you, and do something really mundane. Not high profile, not going for lunch with friends or date night with the husband, or, some other social event that you might have. But go and do something really mundane that you're not even thinking about.
So essentially you're practicing wearing it.
Yeah.
In
a
very safe situation.
Yeah, exactly. It could just be you at home with the dogs, with the cats, with the snakes, whatever pet you might have.
There's no snakes here.
But just an environment that you feel comfortable and you don't feel like you're going to be judged, so that you can wear it and gauge how you feel during the day, because it's all about adjusting and getting used to how things fit differently. When I had, and as I said with my C-section, I always used to, my stomach and my cleavage used to be my thing. Used to be, if I ever needed a confidence boost, no matter what my fluctuating size was at the time, I'd always put on a sort of a lower cut top and a tighter top, and I knew I could shimmy it and I'd own it. Having 2 children, particularly my second one, threw all of that out the window.
Mm-hmm.
And my crutch of what I'd used to feel good was gone. And that could be a metaphor for anything that you use to feel good about.
Yes.
And the C-section was there, and I had to change where my waistband was. I had to pull my waistband up rather than wearing it low. I had to change how I dressed my top half because I had this lump here, and because I was putting the waistband up, it meant that my top half felt different. And it took me time to adjust to those different proportions. But the confidence came because I was hiding the illusion. You couldn't see the scar, you couldn't see the lump. So I felt more comfortable.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does. It makes a lot of sense. Alice has actually got me in, instead of great big baggy tops, she's actually got me in like pretty much crop tops.
Yes.
Not like letting it all hang out crop top.
Tasteful, elegant.
Because that's not me. Has never been me in any way, shape, or form. And that's okay for people that it is them, but it's not me. But you have got me in shorter tops, and
it's in that charity shop, that little cropped cardigan thing. Is this what you've got on now? It's that top, isn't it? Yes. This is a jumper.
So, yeah. So, and I'm actually really okay with it when I was really scared to begin with.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've been practicing, and actually I have had people say, "Oh, Julia, you look really nice today. I love what you're wearing." This is smug face.
It's a proud, happy. Just there's been certain moments that we've had that have really just, they will stay with me for a long time. And
funny, I hope in a good way.
But I think one of the big ones with you, and we've talked about this, was when you realised that your personality didn't necessarily fit your style, that now that you were in recovery and you were exploring so much about who you really were, that we were able to channel that into a sort of a style personality. And for you, it was like the light went on, and it just gave you the freedom to just go for it. And it's been so joyful watching you explore that. It really has.
Oh, I know, it's been fun. It's been really good fun. Emotional, challenging, but so worthwhile and so rewarding. So what strategies or tips do you actually have for finding clothes that fit well and flatter a changing body shape that may be disproportionate to what somebody's used to?
Okay, the first thing I would say is you need to, and I don't mean this to sound mean, put your big girl pants on and be kind to yourself.
Yes.
But you need to put your big girl pants on because you need to step into the space of owning your body. And
you don't have to love what your body looks like. You don't have to love it.
No, you don't have to love it to own it.
You just have to accept that you have a body and not be negative about it.
And what I mean by this is you have to embrace what your body is to understand the best things that are going to fit you. And by this I mean, and we talked, I took some measurements, and you didn't see the measurements.
No, I didn't want to see the measurements.
And this is where, if you're working with a stylist, if they can take the measurements, because what they can do is ensure that everything that is being recommended or picked up or anything like that is going to fit. Because what you don't want to take yourself down the funnel on is trying on things that maybe your old self would wear or something like that. You need to sort of say to you and your body, right, guys, here we go. Come on. We're going to find some things that fit us right now, because discovering the confidence right now is so, so important. This isn't your end journey. This isn't where you're going to be. This may not be your end body shape or your end size. As you said, you're in recovery. It's going to change.
Yeah.
But you need to own where you are in your stage of recovery right now, so that you can really learn to love yourself as you go along. So understanding what your body is, don't hide behind it. Don't hide it from you. Kind of stand there and look at yourself. There may be tears, put some happy music on. I used to do this. I used to go into Pinterest, find a load of pictures that I liked of, could be celebrities, it could be whoever, of an outfit that I liked, of something I liked, a pattern I liked, a color I liked, and I'd put it together all on a board, and it would be like a board of kind of style happiness, and it would just make me feel good.
Can I ask, when you're doing that, would you be looking for pictures of people in a body your size or larger?
I wouldn't be looking at the body. I'm looking at the style.
Okay.
Okay, so it's not looking at the body. None of this is about body shape. It's about your style, personality, and it's about what you wear that makes you feel good. We all have different style personalities. We all like to wear different things. And when you find what yours is, and what your happy places and things that you wear, and the go-to outfit combinations that you can wear that make you feel good, you are onto a winner. So what you need to do is you need to create a board, like a bit of a vision board of looks and things like that that makes you smile, that you kind of think, do you know what, I really like that colour skirt with that top, or those boots with that, looks fab. It's not about the size of the model they're wearing it, or the size of the celebrity, or whatever. It's about what the outfit is.
Yes.
Because that's what, when you say about what's the way to find things that make you feel good, whatever your body shape, it's taking away this fixation on size and shape, and it's focusing on the look.
Yeah.
Because that is not going to change. As your body changes through recovery, your style, personality, who you are, you're only going to grow into that more.
Okay.
So by discovering what that is, like we did with you, with when we unlocked what it was that you wanted to dress like, you know, what your inner child, what that inner Julia just really felt like in the morning, so excited to put on. As your body may or may not change as you go through it, you're still going to have those pieces that that look that's going to put a spring in your step. So that would be my first trick, is to just pull together loads of things that makes you feel good, put some music on, and just get in your wardrobe, understand where your body is in terms of where the weight is at the moment, or where you're feeling insecure, and own it a little bit. Kind of go, right, guys, this is cool. This is what's going on right now. Then look at what you've got on your Pinterest and be like, right, okay, can I play around with these looks? Have I got them? And it's just about having some fun and opening those doors to having fun with your style. And then once you understood what your body shape is, you can find the things that are going to flatter it.
Okay.
Yeah. Have I
Yeah.
made sense? Have I taken this?
Yes.
Yes. Because it's about, like I said, the illusion. So dressing, if you have got weight around your stomach that you want to hide, actually pulling your waistband up, having a high-waisted skirt, an A-line skirt, something like that, can be huge. And a bit like where we've pulled your waist up and we've got shorter tops, the focus is now completely up here.
Yeah.
And dresses, you know, there's so much to be said about a really flattering empire line dress, and all the, you know, but you can find these different types of dresses and these different color combinations that make you happy, and then you can start to get your style confidence through that.
And one thing that we've done is, because obviously all of my old clothes didn't fit because my body is so different now. And I don't know whether the body I'm in is my forever body now. Well, it's never going to be forever, is it? Bodies always change. But if this is my set weight range or isn't, because of so long in restriction, the physical recovery takes a very long time. So obviously it can be incredibly expensive to replace everything in your wardrobe.
Oh God, no.
So we actually did pre-loved shopping.
We did.
From Vinted, from charity shops, or what are they called in the States? Thrift shops,
Thrift stores, thrift stores.
And found some really cool things.
Which is, do you know what? Pre-loved shopping is a passion. I am so, it's something that's a massive, sustainability is a massive ethos to Buddy and New, but pre-loved shopping and style is the backbone of it, really, because it gives you so much freedom. Some people find it quite overwhelming, and I can understand why, because, you know, when you go into a normal store, I mean, I used to design layouts for shops fronts and things like that, so everything is orchestrated to make decision making for you picking an outfit easier.
Okay.
Everything's laid out for you to be able to pick up these trousers. They should be on a mannequin. Then that mannequin outfit should realistically be near you so that you can just go, right, I want that outfit, and it's there, wicked. Or if you find a pair of trousers you like, there'll be shoes underneath the table that match. It's all laid out easy for you to interpret a trend, to interpret a look, whatever. When it comes to your own wardrobe, it's not as easy because you've got all these emotional barriers and physical barriers that are stopping you from putting those outfits together that you might like.
Okay, yeah.
The thing that pre-love can do is that you don't need to walk to the beat of a trend or a high street store. You can create and find whatever you need in a charity shop, on Vinted, on whatever it is. And it's sometimes more affordable. Not always. Charity shop prices have gone up over the years. I mean, when I first started getting into charity shops, probably about 20 years ago, it was, everything was £1 or whatever. It was really cheap. But now, the higher ticket items are the designer pieces and things that you do have to pay a little bit more for them. But pre-loved shopping is great for the environment, but it's also, like I said, great for you to have that flexibility of, like, the things that we found, you probably wouldn't necessarily, some of them, find on the high street today.
No,
maybe online, but it gives you the option, depending on what your colouring is, depending on what your size is, to really have some fun with finding different things. I used pre-love to completely revamp my wardrobe after I had RT. And when my wardrobe needed revamping, I didn't really buy anything new. I couldn't afford to go and have a personal styling appointment at a big department store. So I used my knowledge and experience of going into the charity shops and Vinted to find those pieces to piece myself back together.
Yeah. And so some of the stuff I like, I really love long skirts, long flowing skirts. And I found some amazing, like, vintage 60s skirts that are all floral and stuff, which I just love. They just make my heart sing.
There you go.
And they're not around in the shops now.
No.
So that's an opportunity that I've been able to embrace that I would not have got with high street shopping.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
But that's why it's so important to understand what your kind of style personality is and who you are, because it means that you can do that. You can go into the charity shops and you can find what you're looking for to fit you, not what the high street store is saying.
Yes. And I'm never going to see anybody else in the same outfit.
Exactly.
Amazing. So, big question now.
Oh, right. Let me set up. Get ready.
How can someone navigate the fashion industry's very narrow beauty standards and find clothes that make them feel good about themselves without triggering negative body image thoughts?
Gosh, that is a big question. Right. Okay. I worked in the fashion industry and the beauty industry for a very long time, and I left it with quite a negative view to start with. What I would say is that you take from the fashion and beauty industry the positivity where you can. Okay. So, for example, the fashion industry, for all its faults with various things, allows people to be creative, allows people to find their own identity within fashion. And for many, many people at different stages of their life, fashion has been an outlet. Fashion has been a way that they have been able to express themselves. And I think sometimes we hit the fashion industry with the same brush of, size 0 catwalk models and all of that sort of stuff, which it very much is. But there is a side to it that is also inclusive, expressive, and quite wonderful. And that side is the one that allows people to create their own beat, their own drum. And there are many designers that do that. And I think you need to take from the industry inspiration of style and look rather than the model, because it's changing, but it's taking its time. There's plus size models now. There's a very high profile one. Her name has completely escaped my memory right now. But she has come out and said she's not being asked to walk the catwalks anymore because she's plus size, although she did a while ago. But there are more and more than there ever has been. The industry is changing very, very slowly on its axis. But what I think you need to do is to take from it that creativity and use it as a stepping stone to find who you are within it. Am I making any sense at all?
Yes, you are. And randomly, what has also come into my mind from this is the actual act of going out and going shopping and dealing with all the mannequins and stuff are normally in a particular size, and it can be really difficult. And I know one of the things that I really didn't want to do was try clothes on in changing rooms, because I mean, what do they even do to the lighting in those changing rooms? It's horrendous. There's mirrors everywhere that could just as well be magic mirrors in a fairground.
They vary so much. Yeah. They vary so much. And sometimes they do put the lighting in certain ways to trick your mind. The best thing I did, I had a client who she had full-on panic attacks when it would come to going shopping, and it was to do with size, and it was to do with various things. But we needed to go shopping because we needed to find her an outfit for a wedding, and it wasn't the sort of thing that I could find and source online. I could, but we needed to get actually trying things on, and because sometimes there's nothing better than actually going into a shop, and particularly if you're with a stylist and one that knows what they're doing, about putting different bits together on the spot, and you having the access to lots of different things to be able to pull together outfits that you wouldn't in your wardrobe, or being able to shop online. And we went into the fitting room and I covered every single mirror in a long dress. Every single one in the fitting room covered it.
Okay.
And she put on her things. And I said to her, don't come out. Like, only show me. And I said this to you.
Yeah.
Only show me if you feel comfortable. If you open and you come out to me and you feel comfortable, then we can look at the reflection part. But I don't want you to look at it until you have decided whether you feel comfortable in it. Great
advice. Yeah, really good advice.
So I would suggest do the same. If you're going shopping, you've just learnt my trick of the trade there, but cover it. Or if you're doing it at home and you're trying stuff on, cover the mirror, see how you feel in it first. Because you always know. It's like when you put on a pair of jeans and you're trying jeans on. I always know if I go past my knee and I get to about mid-thigh, if I like them or not, and if they're going to fit me. So you get, and then you keep going, and then you're like, oh, hold on a minute. Oh, there we go. I like these. So, yeah. But equally, when you get to this point, you also know if you're going to hate them.
Yes.
So cover the mirrors and only look at the mirrors when you feel inside that you feel good.
That was actually another plus for the pre-loved shopping as well, because it's just a little cubby hole with a curtain and a slightly sketchy mirror and no big lights.
Yeah.
So
everyone looking at you going, oh, that looks nice.
Yes, we did get some random come up and go, oh, I like that colour on you.
Yeah.
Oh, right, let me have a look at what other questions I've got here. Are there any specific fabrics or textures that you would advise somebody in recovery to avoid?
Satin.
Okay.
It's got no movement. It's got no give. And generally it's cut on a bias, which can be very flattering, but can also feel quite restrictive.
Okay.
And the last thing you want is to be in something when you sit down, your body kind of pushes against and makes you feel...
Then you feel really self-conscious.
Yeah. So you want the fabrics that you are looking at to be soft, to be kind, to be malleable. Sometimes there's, I'm all about a blazer. And I made sure you had one or two or a couple of jackets in, because for me, a jacket is a cornerstone of being able to elevate any look and give you confidence. And obviously with jackets, structured shoulders are the best and are everyone's best friend.
I have to learn how to wash them because I killed one.
80s power dressing. We're not going quite dynasty, but there is something in putting on a jacket with structure in it that gives you a bit of, it's a bit like they say about red lipstick. I actually meant to put one on and I forgot. So you want the kind of like that dopamine dressing, and with that, the texture of the fabric will need to be a little bit more structured. But I would say, depending on if you have variations to wool and knitted fabrics, but some synthetic fabrics can be a little bit claustrophobic.
Mm-hmm.
Saying that though, a lot of the synthetic fabrics now are quite soft in the high street. I think a lot of people can't tell whether they're picking up a knit that's actually wool, viscose, or even if it's
I had to keep looking at the labels because I can't wear wool. It just makes me itch too much.
Yeah, they're super soft, but there's also a lot of recycled fabrics. But anyway, that's not the point. What you want to just look for is nothing that's too restrictive. Silk is softer than satin, really, so it can be a little bit kinder to the skin. And sometimes I always say as well that it's nice to, if you're in recovery or if you're trying to build your confidence up with an outfit and you're wearing a dress or something like that and you're just not sure on how it's going to sit across your middle or whatever, put a slip on underneath. Put a really lovely soft that feels nice against your skin, that's going to flex with your skin and your movement of your body. Put a slip underneath and then put the dress on. So you've got something lovely and kind next to your skin before you're putting the thing on that's going to make you kind of push you out of your comfort zone a little bit. So be kind to yourself.
Always be kind. I have a completely unrelated random question from that. What's the difference between a slip and a petticoat? Or is it just an old word?
I see. When you say, so petticoat to me is elasticated waist, drown with a bit of frill around the bottom with a bit of lace at the bottom. That's me, how I think petticoat. And a slip is like a full dress that just is a slip dress that goes over the top.
Oh, okay, cool. Just random question there. Okay, so let's have a look. What other questions out of these? I've got loads of questions, but I'm not asking them all. You've already said about how to approach styling sessions to provide a safe and supportive environment, haven't you? So are there any specific self-care or mindfulness techniques that you suggest incorporating into the styling process to promote a positive mindset?
Is this working with a stylist or just on your own?
Both.
Okay. If you're on your own, never underestimate the power of a good song with a beat.
Oh, nice.
When you're walking down the street. I have one. And without fail, my kids call it the walking song. Because without fail, you put it on and you can't help but kind of go like this. And when you're walking down the street, you can't help but have a little bit of a strut. However much you hide it, however much you try not to, you just find yourself moving to the beat of the music. So get yourself a strut song.
Are you willing to share your strut song?
I am willing to share my strut song. It is called, I can't pronounce it, but Requiem Through a Loop, I think.
Okay.
A friend played it for me. Yeah, Requiem for a Loop by Beat, whatever that is. Okay,
we're going to put it in the show notes.
Yeah. But it starts off but it's got a real boom, 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 boom. And honestly, if I'm walking down the street and you listen to it, and it may not be your bag in terms of types of music, but the beat just kind of like, and it just makes me smile. Like if I'm feeling really crap, and I've even maybe got my warrior lipstick on, and I've got my jacket, which are my two personal things whenever I'm sort of dipping a bit, is I put a blazer on and I put a bit of lippy on and a nice pair of boots and I strut. Like it just, if I'm walking and I listen to this, I just cannot help but smile. So positive mindset thing would be definitely get yourself a strut song. Think about when you're getting ready in the morning, take the pressure off yourself. Don't stress about having to find an outfit that morning.
Okay.
If you've got an event coming up, or if you've got a busy week or whatever, plan it. Get in there on the Sunday night.
So fashion prep, like your food prep.
Yeah. Get in there on a Sunday. Have a little look at how you're feeling. Think about, now what you need to account for though is that I always feel a bit different sometimes in the mornings. My mood might fluctuate, might become, whatever. So obviously, be kind and allow yourself that. But just on a Sunday night being like, right, okay, that's a big thing I've got going on that day. The last thing I want is to be starting off on a negative foot where I can't find the outfit or I'm not feeling good with the outfit. And having the right outfit is so important to how we feel for the day. So give yourself that time, an hour or two on Sunday or the day before, just to have a little bit of a play with some outfits, see how you feel, and then hang it up and put it up there and look at it. And then look at that and visualize yourself in it and visualize feeling good in it.
I love the visualization. Am I right in thinking that you need to be able to be actually physically comfortable in your clothes as well in order to feel good?
Right, I'm going to put a bit of a cat amongst the pigeons in this, because I cannot tell you how many times I get told I just want to wear things that are comfortable.
Okay.
Now, I fully agree that you need to be wearing things that are comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a little bit of a thing in there that I am a bit old school about, in that I think a lot of the things that we've gone through within society over the past few years, and various other things that have changing in how we work from home and all this sort of stuff, has meant that comfort also means a bit laziness. It's quite a bold statement.
Okay, I don't like the word.
Laziness is not a good word.
No.
But as in not showing up for ourselves a little bit.
Okay.
Right?
So not putting the effort into
not
ourselves.
Not putting the effort into ourselves.
Okay.
We've got so used to wearing the sort of the joggers and the hoodies. That,
yeah. Okay.
Because we're working from home.
Athleisure,
which is also a trend, because it's a trend because society is wearing it so much. And this is where you may all be like, I liked this girl, and now she's sort of telling me that I can't wear my joggers. But my point, and let me explain what my point behind this is. When I was in lockdown with my kids, I used to just wear what most people were wearing, and it was the leggings, t-shirt, whatever.
Yeah.
It was sunny, so it would be shorts and whatever. And I just got really down because I was just looking at myself, and I was never ever putting something on that made me feel good.
Okay.
So I introduced Friday Cocktail Hour. And the reason I introduced Friday Cocktail Hour was that it was an excuse for me, to make myself a nice cocktail.
Always good.
Always good. But I got dressed up, and I stood in my kitchen on my own, in my heels, with my cocktail, and I felt fabulous. And I did that every Friday. And
you can do that whether you like alcohol or don't.
And you can do it. You can have a mocktail. You can have a ginger tea. You can have whatever floats your boat. But the point is that I showed up and I got dressed up.
So you're showing up for yourself.
Yeah.
Not for anybody else.
Now, a lot of people sometimes will say, I just want to feel comfortable, because they're showing up for themselves and putting something on that pushes them out of their comfort zone.
Okay.
Is what they're using as the word comfortable.
Now you see. No, I was thinking like
baggy.
Restricted. No, I was thinking like uncomfortable would be like a pencil skirt that felt restrictive. And again, very formal clothes, heels that hurt your feet.
Obviously, if it physically causes you pain,
yeah,
then you're not going to be comfortable and you're not going to feel your natural self. But again, this is a bit, I don't know, if we don't ever push ourselves to wear something that is uncomfortable, and I mean this physically as well as emotionally, we're never going to evolve our style. We're never going to try anything different.
If nothing changes.
Exactly.
Nothing changes.
If nothing changes, nothing changes. It took me a while to get used to the feeling of having a tighter waistband further up my body.
Yeah.
And for a bit, it felt a bit uncomfortable. And sometimes when I'm having a flare up and I'm a bit bloated, I don't want to wear a really tight waistband. But I keep putting them on when I'm having those good days, because I feel good in them because of the way my proportion changes in my body, my physical reflection looks.
Yeah, I get that.
Does that
completely.
make sense?
Like when you said to me to stop wearing, not to stop, to you didn't tell me that I couldn't wear anything, that's what I'm trying to say, but to try wearing shorter tops and stuff, I felt more exposed, more emotionally uncomfortable. Not like I was in my stretch zone, not my panic zone though. So I wasn't in my comfort zone, but I was in the stretch zone, and that's where you get to grow, right?
Yeah.
And that's where you get to change things. And now they're totally comfortable. I'm fine with them.
But also your posture changes. So when you put something on, and as I said about, we were talking about fabrics, okay, and my love for blazers, they're quite sometimes the classic jackets with lining and everything, they're going to feel a little bit more restrictive than if you wear a bomber jacket or those god awful really thin cardigans that I just cannot stand. Right, so when you put one of those sort of cardigans on, you kind of just sort of when you just sort of walk around, there's nothing giving you a boost. There's nothing making your body kind of stand up and own itself. And this is why I love a blazer, because you put the blazer on and you instantly, the shoulder pads, the sort of slight, you're standing back. You're proud. You have to physically stand properly. You can't slunk into wearing a blazer. You have to stand. And it's the same as if you're wearing a little, a crop top, you're kind of suddenly, you're like, your body movements are a little bit more because you're aware that you've got this sort of top on.
Yeah.
The same as if I've got the high-waisted trousers on, I have to kind of maybe pull my back up a little bit more because it's more comfortable. So my posture's better. And when your posture's better, you naturally lift your face and you're looking up to the world. You're opening yourself up rather than being kind of like down and all slumped. So sometimes actually wearing certain things that bring you up and out can be amazing.
I see that. Yeah. Yeah, I see that. Well, how do I word this? So nobody loves how they look every single day of the year, do they? Sometimes you have a bad hair day.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have a bad skin day.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have a bad body image day.
Yeah.
It can be to do with your monthly cycle. It can just be to do with being tired, being cold, being hot, anything.
Yeah, anything.
So expecting to be able to feel great in your body every single day is just not achievable.
Don't give yourself that pressure. Like, why?
It's more a case of being kind and compassionate to yourself on the days where you don't feel so great, on the days where your hair literally just says, I need to be in a hat.
Just what mine's doing today. Nothing with this barnet is doing what it needs to do. You also need to have your go-to outfits. Now, I know I'm not going to talk about the blazer again, but you need to have your go-to looks. And this is where it comes back to the style personality thing and understanding what floats your boat, what gets you going, what makes you smile, what gives you a little bit of a boost, whether it's your walking song, whatever it is. But
so it's like a safe outfit then.
Yeah,
like
safe outfit.
When you've got safe foods for recovery, when you just can't face it, and you know that this meal here is safe and you can eat it, even if the world around you feels chaotic and you feel like you can't challenge anything. So you can actually create safe outfits 100%. For those days.
100%. There's like the easiest trick in the book. Excuse me, hiccup. And I filmed a video for this, which I was going to put on my socials today. One of the easiest fail-safe styling tips to feel confident is to wear a dark colour head to toe and then put a light colour over the top.
Oh, okay.
Simple. Like, so simple. And it can be a pair of black leggings with a long black jumper if you're feeling that you want to kind of be a bit cozy and and then you could put a really cool jacket. I've got a thing with jackets, can you tell? Then you can put a really cool jacket or a waistcoat or whatever in a different color and a different texture. And what you've done is you've slimmed your middle completely because the eye is drawn to the jacket, and because the underneath is dark, you're slimming the underneath. So it's like a go-to. Like, if you're feeling however crappy, just do head to toe one color, chuck something bright on the top, and you'll feel amazing.
Fantastic. Alice, you've been amazing. Thank you so much. I hope you listeners have found this really, really helpful. Any questions for Alice, do let me know, because maybe she'll come back, because I think this is...
I'd love to.
I think this has been really helpful.
Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to come back.
I mean, initially I thought, is it going to be weird having a stylist come on an eating disorder recovery thing? But no, because we all have a body.
Yeah.
And most of us are pretty insecure about our bodies in recovery. So this is so helpful. Excuse me. So yeah, please do. Let's have any messages for Alice, any questions. And I'm going to put all your details in the show notes.
Cool.
How people can contact you.
Yeah.
You work virtually as well, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So anyone can work with you.
Anyone can work with me.
Work with Alice. She's amazing.
Thank you, darling.
And yeah, thank you so much for listening. I'll see you all next week.
Bye.
Thank you.